Thanks for tuning in to the Marvel Movie Minute.
Want to skip those pesky ads and get early access?
Become a member at truestory.fm/join and discover all the other great perks that come with it.
Welcome back to the Marvel Movie Minute, a weekly podcast where we disassemble a film from the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 5-minute segments and examine them in obsessive and occasionally hilarious detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Craft and Chaos podcast.
And I'm Pete Wright, also from the Craft and Chaos podcast. We are talking about 66 through 70 today, and we don't have our comrades. They're in a bunker.
They're in a furious debate about whether the classic film Noah is actually in continuity or not.
Nice.
Where they could we could not break them apart.
Nope. So this one we pick up in our conversation with Zola. What do you think?
That's true. Yeah, we start in mid-exposition and end with a special delivery from S.H.I.E.L.D.
No, new recruit.
So yeah, we're still mid-Zola. In the process of doing his exposition. So as we were talking about at the end of the last one, the way the footage is arranged kind of makes you think that they had a plan all along, because when you first see some shadowy glimpses of the Winter Soldier, which I think is interesting, that as Zola is planning on them dying, he's still not revealing who the Winter Soldier is or anything else. Like, this would be the time to be like, oh, and by the way, do you know this guy you were looking for who caught your shield? That's your old pal. Bye-bye. And then boom.
Well, because they do have like that. I guess that begs the question. When we see clips of Rogers sacrificed everything, Rogers disappeared.
That must be from now.
They're now, right? Like those are modern layouts, modern typography. They're talking about the missing hero who's about to be missing.
Yeah, which I guess goes along kind of opposite of what we talked about last time, which is it seems like he's connected. Connected to the internet. Like, because that's
at least
information
at a
that would
minimum
not be
he's
on that
connected
drive.
to Canva.
Right. You think he's just like frantically just like, oh, it's on the way. I'm almost finished. All right, just need to drag this layout. Oh, no.
I asked Claude to do it, and it's crap. I hate this layout.
We see, in addition to like the Winter Soldier, which goes immediately to accidents will happen, which then we see the death of the headline about Howard Stark being killed, and then we see Fury deceased, and then rolls into Captain America being hunted. That basically is saying that Hydra has been here the whole time.
And so he's not that online because he doesn't know that Fury is actually not deceased at this point. And I guess Fury's not that online either. But then we get the final, is it the nail in the orbital coffin? We actually see the Helicarrier.
Yeah.
They have footage of the Helicarrier.
Yeah,
in
and
Zola's
we see the guns.
reel.
We see all the guns along the bottom. Basically saying, like, directly telling Captain America that Project Insight is part of this Hydra plan.
Yeah. Did that take you out of the movie at all?
I think it did throw me for a loop, the fact that like that Hydra has been S.H.I.E.L.D. Like that it's been there the whole time. It's been hiding around. All of us, and this is at the time that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was airing.
Right.
So apparently that conversation was also one that happened where they sat down with the showrunners and went, so your show's called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We're about to blow up S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, oh. So
everybody's going to Tahiti. Everybody.
That's right. Tahiti's for everyone.
Yeah. I don't think I think the first time I watched it, I think the clips montage happened so fast that I don't think I made any connection to the fact that this is real footage that they've clearly had on deck.
Mm-hmm.
And watching it now, the subliminality of it, right, letting me know, reminding me where in space and time this is all happening, I think is enormously effective filmmaking, even though it's sort of puppeteering our emotional direction, right? It's like this is just a reminder of stakes right in the middle of this montage that maybe we wouldn't need otherwise, but man, does it work for just keeping us propelled toward the next thing. And the next thing is Steve smashes the computer.
That's right.
And Zola
punches
shows
Zola
up on
right
another
in his big
one.
square face, and then he just hops to another one, which I'm like, that is very Arnim Zola right there. Like, oh, actually, look, you cut off one head, but now I'm in the other one.
Paul, right in this kisser. Yeah.
I love because, as I was saying.
I know. Like he is aware which monitor he's on at any given point, right?
Yeah,
and especially those dumb CRTs. That's alpha technologizing.
Yeah. Say a big shout to Toby Jones. Like obviously he probably just did a VO session, but man, dude, when you can sign the mic, he delivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, his geek credential runs deep all the way through Harry Potter, Doctor Who. I mean, it's
yeah.
So this was fun just to have just a little return.
Yeah, and he wrote the algorithm that was on the Shield USB drive.
That's right. So we know that is not actually Zola. It is another little, I don't know, subroutine, like a little thing that he did. Of course, algorithm was not that in common parlance like it is now, where our lives are seeming to be controlled by algorithms. But it definitely is. We had sort of talked about like what we thought it was, and now he sort of says, "Oh yeah, it is a program, so it isn't a true AI."
I'm not in the Apple Store.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm in the server, not on your phone. You're welcome.
Right. But we do get a chance for our heroes to get some questions answered, and that is a good opportunity for them to step in and say, what is going on really? What is that? Well, it's my algorithm, and then the big reveal. I have been stalling the whole time.
Yep. Yeah. So Natasha looks more floored by this than Cap. Cap is sort of taking this all in of like almost mild annoyance, but Natasha I think is more annoyed by, how did I not know about any of this? How did this get past me? And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, wait, who's that at the door? Like, it turns out there is a missile headed in. So she pulls out her phone and sees that there is a bogey, they say, on the way, but it turns out it is a missile, and it is launched by S.H.I.E.L.D. It is coming for them, and they only have 30 seconds.
It's a very fast 30 seconds, too.
It is very fast 30 seconds, yeah. But it was nice that it wasn't like it's an escape room. You have 2 minutes to get out of here and stuff.
You're right.
No, like,
right.
You barely have time for a commercial, and it's all coming down.
Where do you think it was shot from? They're in New Jersey. 30 seconds.
Are there are there nuclear silos in New Jersey? I mean, this was not nuclear, I guess. This was just a standard, like, ballistic something or other. But was
it from a ship off coast?
I say we don't know how, from when the impact happens to when the team shows up, we don't know how much time passes.
It could have come from, like, Nevada, given the length of the conversation that they had.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, or it could have come from the Triskelion, I guess, if they have missiles at the base.
I've got so much crap at the Triskelion.
Yeah, right.
They could do whatever they want.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think about the timeline wise was, could it have come from one of the Quinjets, because we see show up right away, but we've not really seen that long range of missiles. Especially not like essentially what is probably a bunker buster, because it's a bunker, it's being busted. So it would have to be something along those lines in terms of kilotons or whatever it is, but not enough to wipe out the entire area.
I'm gonna go with some sort of a S.H.I.E.L.D. ship off coast.
Oh,
that's going to be my headcanon. I think it's in the sea.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of waterways that they could have come from. I mean, and we don't actually ever really see much of what it is. So, I mean, it could have been a drone.
No, we have just the POV. Yeah, you're right. It could have been a drone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, would it have been a drone then?
Would it? I don't know. I mean, I think we were.
Were we doing
they were
drones?
large, but I mean, I feel like they were definitely in use. They were just not the little guys. I'm talking about like the big, like,
right? That were launched with giant slingshots.
Yeah,
slingshot drone. Okay,
yeah, that's what I was
my
thinking.
favorite.
Because we see the cam, like the footage of which looks a little bit like what we've seen of the drone strikes. Yeah, once again, pulling on that like
I think
war nostalgia thing of like ripped from the headlines. This is that Desert Storm sort of thing, Call of Duty.
Yeah. We're there. This is what we grew up on. This was the nightly news. That works for me. All of that works for me. Even the busting of the actual bunker works for me. The fact that Cap is able to pull up the grate, obvious that he can pull up a grate.
Sure.
And that they're able to get in it in time. That's a nice beat. It's well timed.
Yeah.
None of that takes me out of the action sequence. I think it works really, really well.
Yeah, I think it was smart of them to do it this way, of like literally dropping the house on them, as opposed to cool guys don't look at explosions. Like they could have done it of like them sprinting up the thing and like leaping, sort of
column of fire coming behind them. Yeah,
right. The X-Men Origins Wolverine of like just everything behind and just like just brush it off. Like, ooh, that was close.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't. I think they landed it. They landed it.
Yeah.
And the result scene, right, when he kind of comes out of it and they have the lights. It's Terminator. It's like a Judgment Day shot. It feels like
that's
they're
true.
standing up in the rubble, and then robot foot comes down. That felt. I mean, if Rob were here, I'll bet we'd get an homage comment. It felt homage-y to me.
That's true. Because when they pull themselves out from outside the rubble, but are the worse for wear. Like they do look like it's not that sort of like an artful cut along one cheek or whatever. Hiding underneath / behind the shield probably did a bunch to stop anything of the stuff. I mean, Cap is holding it up. It kind of a slight homage to the Secret Wars comic with the Hulk holding up the entire mountain as all the people around him, but him holding the rubble and then sort of pushing it out. And then we see them escape. And then moments later, Quinjets are flying overhead and Romulo is there once again behind the times, doing the Tommy Lee Jones part from The Fugitive here and just not able to catch Richard Kimball.
I just played it back. And the sound effect that happens, there is a sound effect layered underneath the missile cam that is a helicopter.
Oh,
but the helicopter sound never stops. It runs all the way through the explosion. It feels like a texture, but it's tricky because if you're just watching that little snippet, you can hear weirdly a helicopter doesn't sound like a drone. Like a drone, like a propellered drone that we would think of. It sounds like a helicopter. So I think that was just sound effects, jiggery pokery.
Okay.
But it doesn't sound like what I would expect it to sound like. So don't listen to it very closely is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's on screen exactly long enough for you to go, what was? And then everything
what was that? And then it's gone. Yeah. And then we go to black. It is a rare time in these movies where we actually get a black and a fade in.
Yeah, so I guess this is time passes or an act ending. I mean, things are pretty bleak. Is this act one? I don't know. I mean, they are.
Boy, it's a good 4 seconds, 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds.
And then we
sound comes first. We go straight to Pierce walking down his well-appointed hall.
Which looks like he has also come from working out as well. So, like, everybody's keeping it tight here in Captain America Winter Soldier.
Hey, I mean, if you're going to be in the Winter Soldier, you keep it tight, on screen and off.
I guess, when he's planning to be, Supreme Commander, Overlord, or whatever, he knows he's got to be ready to fit in that green leotard that all the Hydra agents have to wear.
That's right.
So we go immediately from explosion to Pierce's house.
Yes.
And so we have apparently Will and I, at this point, we don't know exactly why. Like we know that the asset has been activated. That was the last thing that Rumlow said. But when we get to Pierce's house and he has a conversation, then we meet Renata. So Renata is played by Branka Katwik. Is that how you had Katish? Okay,
Branka,
so you had been
Katish.
doing your linguistics training, and I had not.
I did. Well, my trainer's Serbian, so I texted him and I said, "How do you do this? How do you pronounce this?" And Branka Katish.
Branka Katik.
And don't sleep on Branka Katish.
No, she's
got a ton of stuff.
She has got 92 credits on IMDb. She is from Serbia. Actually, when she was born, it was called Yugoslavia. She has done a ton of work. She has a lot of work over in that side of the world. But over here, she has done appearances on Entourage and Big Love, and is still a working actress today. So she is out there. She does not get a lot of time in this movie, unfortunately.
Very little time. Who did she know to get a walk on in this movie? Do you think? I mean, this is another Russo.
Well, maybe I won't play the IMDb game with you because two of the movies I had never heard of before, but this is one of her 4.
Yeah, I'm guessing you'd heard of Public Enemies and The King's Man, and like me, had not heard of The Wounds and Black Cat, White Cat.
No.
Yeah, total new films to me.
So she is playing his housekeeper, and she's wrapping up for the night and then goes to leave. And when Pierce sees the asset, so the Winter Soldier is in his kitchen. I wonder, did you think he positioned himself so the light would only shine across his eyes? Like he was maneuvering the chair around just to make sure that beam of moonlight hit him directly in the film noir?
If rule number 1 is keep it tight, rule number 2 is watch your beams.
Watch your beams.
Yeah, always watch the beams.
From the start of it, it looks like, because we see that Pierce sees him sitting there with a gun on the table and tells Renata she's okay to leave. And our first thought is that he is protecting her, keeping her safe, getting her out of the way because he thinks his time is up. Like, hey, there's a hitman here to kill me. But then the twist, he is actually the one giving the orders to the Winter Soldier. He says that there are 2 targets, level 6. I'm like, if Captain America's a level 6, what's a level 7?
I know, the numbers go up. I have to say, I had a visceral memory with this in this sequence when he says, "Oh, Renata, I wish you hadn't seen that or seen this," right? And he turns around and shoots her. I was like, oh my God, I remember being surprised here the first time I saw it. I remember being blown away. It reminded me that there was a point in my life where I didn't know Pierce was Hydra.
Right.
And that's really effective. That was so effective.
Yeah. It's the double thing of we find out that he is in charge. So we know from this moment that he's Hydra. And then just to cement the fact that he is not just a guy giving orders, he murders someone that he knows just because she saw something she shouldn't have seen. So now we've gone from oh, maybe he can't be trusted to, oh no, full on evil. Like this guy is a villain.
Yeah. Yeah. Bad news. That was very effective. We missed the line that I like the most in this minute, which is, "You want some milk?"
Yes.
I'd like the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. Hydra to offer me milk.
Right. This is and maybe that's supposed to be more that we're supposed to trust this guy of oh, well, he drinks milk, so he's a good, solid, upstanding
Wholesome.
American. Because,
Yep.
Because,
Yep.
If the question is got milk, we have the answer. But the Winter Soldier says, "Niet."
Winter Soldier should always take his calcium. It feels like if
also,
anybody needs it.
We also have another question answered in this scene that we had talked to earlier, is that in an ADR line, we find out that Zola is definitely dead. He says, "They already cost me Zola."
Yeah.
So that was a strategic move too of like, hey, I have this missile. I'm going to lose Zola, but I could probably kill Cap and Black Widow to do it. So he sacrificed one of his, I don't know, would you call him a bishop? Like what level of peace would Zola have been? I don't know.
Maybe a
to
rook.
try and
He's in the
take them out.
bunker, right?
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know. I there's part of me that sees that as a miss. I know that there are certain sort of Doyleist reasons not to keep Toby Jones coming in for his voice sessions, but man, I think there's room for a Zola story that goes on, and destroying the bunker. I like our logic from last time, which was he's everywhere, so he's anywhere. And losing the bunker doesn't cost us the identity. And this ADR line costs us the identity, and I think that was, it's a queen sacrifice.
Yeah. Oh, it says we're up to queen. Okay.
Oh.
But however, if Marvel wants to do a Penguin-esque miniseries of the rise and fall of Arnim Zola, call you boy. I'm ready. I got a pitch to do like I don't want to set the Red Skull to like put me in the computer. Like that's a good journey.
Yeah, that's a good journey.
Yeah.
That's the right story to tell of Arnim Zola for sure. Because we already have an origin story that's done. We know where he became but where he became the computer.
You know, to do like the Marvel version of Project Paperclip, like the Oppenheimer era, like to put in there of like what was going on and how Hydra did this, how they pulled this off. Like, it's a story worth telling. And in the golden days of Disney Plus, that maybe was a possibility. But now here we are in the the post-boom era. Yeah.
Okay, so we do get some Spivey-Wivey talk, and
that's right.
He's talking to the Winter Soldier as a colleague and an asset.
Yeah.
Any Easter eggs that come out of this conversation the comic lore?
At this point, we are still not supposed to know who the Winter Soldier is because they're still. First time we saw him, he was masked. With the not only the face shield but the goggles, and all we know is the long hair. Here we see his eyes, but that's all we see. The rest is in shadow. So for those who did not watch Captain America: First Avenger or had read any of the comics, this was still a mystery, still a surprise to be revealed. So he says nothing in this entire thing. He just, acts with his eyes, I guess, like he sort of takes his orders and does it. It's interesting that we'll see him get his direct orders with the machine and all this stuff. But here, as he's out and active, it seems like he's just, operating as a regular sort of Black Ops hitman. There doesn't seem to be anything that there's no code words in this scene.
No, there's a little part of it though that that reads like Pierce is just sort of programming him, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna just put a bunch of words out and you're gonna assess them and take action.
Yeah.
That's fine. I like it. How many people do you think? How many people? I need a number. Do you think we're not tracking that this was Bucky by this point in the film?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I would say my parents, who had never seen Captain America, the first Avenger. So two. Yeah, two. No, but I think, I really honestly, the Redford effect cannot be understated. I think a lot of people came to this. I think if you would look at the box office numbers for Captain America: First Avenger versus Captain America: Soldier, there's a big discrepancy. And I think a lot of that was people coming in later.
Yeah.
So, and now, once again, I'm not equivocating quality with box office thing, but that's sort of the only way that we know how many butts were in seats.
Yes.
Unfortunately, those numbers don't get tossed around as much. Everybody talks about in terms of how many hundreds of millions and not how many like human beings actually went to see it. But yeah, I think there was a very large one. And I think it's one of those things where it was revealed, all the nerds were like, oh, and then everybody else is like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
It sort of doesn't really work in terms of that. Because if you are the hardcore Marvel fan, you already know this. If you're a fan of like this is just how you watch movies in the 21st century. You probably looked on IMDb and saw that Sebastian Stan was in it, so therefore you knew what it was. So I honestly don't know who this secret was being kept for. Like, not that every movie needs to have everything on the table, but like, there's a certain point where it's like, who do you think? If they don't know who this is, then the reveal won't matter. If they do know who it is, then people are just annoyed that it hasn't been revealed yet. So who is it for?
That was going to be my next question, right? Because from, taking this as a whole, we're at minute 60, probably 68 as this is happening, and we still don't, quote, know who the Winter Soldier is. And in terms of introducing your antagonist, when does it start to feel long-winded?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think they get away with a lot in this movie because if this were just a white hat, black hat kind of a story, it would be too late now to introduce that twist. But they get away with so much because of the Redford effect, because of the Hydra effect, because of there's so much going on that I think they buy themselves time to actually let that what amounts to like a D story, and it's the title of the movie,
right?
Kind of play out.
Yeah, you're right. It's literally like the Winter Soldier, and here he is for the third time. Like, it's an hour into the movie. This is only the third time we've seen him. It was, the attack on Fury, and then there was like the shooting of Fury again, like once sort of finishing up his business and catching the shield, and now here where he barely moves, much less says anything.
We get Bucky in the beam.
Yeah.
That's it.
Bucky in the beam.
Yeah, and now we get to Sam, right?
That's right.
This is where we cut to Sam, and he's running again. And I think at this point, we've actually seen Sam more than the Winter Soldier.
Yes,
and we've seen him 3 times.
Yeah. Because and they've had long conversations, too. We saw that when, Cap was sort of talking about when he went to visit him at the center.
The war.
And they were having, the war, exactly. And the beds are too soft and all that. I mean, we've seen a lot of that. So Captain America and the Falcon might be a better title, but then we would know
be a
that
better
was coming
title
too. But
right.
Yeah. But, I guess the calling it the Winter Soldier and then having the Winter Soldier so little involved at this point. But we know that there's the back half, there's going to be a lot more Bucky.
It really is just an interesting play. And I, watching it at this point, at this level of sort of detail, I think it's fascinating to watch how they architected this, the story to get away with as much as they get away with, and to introduce this character. It is such a slow roll, and it's very, very effective.
Yeah, because he looks unconcerned by all this, so that there's that level of confidence where you're like, okay, this is the guy who knows how to handle his business.
Yeah.
And he sees Renata as well and doesn't really do anything or react because that's not
isn't it interesting that Pierce doesn't have him kill Renata?
Yeah.
He's the asset. He's the guy who picks up guns.
Right. Yeah, he could be over there so fast with his metal arm,
Right. Meanwhile, back to Sam's sweaty kitchen.
So the next morning, we assume, like this is that they've been on the run to New Jersey, then from New Jersey, then back to DC, because we know Sam lives somewhere in that area, the Maryland type area. We're not exactly sure where it is, but he is going back. So we know that Pierce ends his day with milk, and now we know that Sam starts his day with orange juice.
Like a gentleman, and he drinks it out of the bottle like an animal.
Like a single man.
Like a single man.
Because, it's like, oh, well, if you're the only one going to be drinking it, yeah, okay, makes sense. Why waste a glass? You're not going to you don't have to worry about cross-contamination. But then a knock at the door. And
yeah. Look at that. It's Dirty Steve and Filthy Natasha.
That's right. Dirty Steve and Filthy Natasha.
It's the title of their road movie.
Yeah.
And we get Sam's hero line. So he's told that everybody we know is trying to kill us. And he says, after a long beat, where he's calculating the best hero line for Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It opens his door to what he knows is going to be trouble. Because at this point, Sam has to have known.
Yeah.
Like he has to know. Like he has to have seen all the. I mean, it must be the top story,
right?
That Captain America is on the run, and because they're going to use the media against them, so he has to know that this is going to change his life.
That's a really interesting observation because we see all of the Canva designs that Zola had done.
Yeah.
But they don't actually ever show us those in situ, right? We never see the news. We never hear the radio.
Get like them to get like a real newscaster to come in to be like in our top story tonight.
Right. Which would be interesting because, you know, the question I was left with, which I hadn't connected using the media to catch Cap and Natasha, but the question I was left with was how much is Sam in the loop? Is Sam still in any capacity like reservist on duty, or like is he in a chain of command that would mean he should know these things, or is he just living his life and doing his thing at the clinic? You know,
well, no, you're right. I mean, like I am extrapolating like that. We really don't see anything like that. So maybe Shield is trying to keep a lid on this and not tell people that Cap is out there and doing it to try and turn the people against it. Because maybe they are. Because it also is within 24 hours. Like people have to know something is going on, but they don't have to know exactly what. I mean, for the few people who might have seen Cap, you know, take out a Quinjet, people who are like sitting along the banks of the river and saw Captain America on a motorcycle take out a plane and crash it on the thing and then go driving off. That would, you think that'd be news? Like there'd be like
there would be something on social media, right? People are sharing clips.
Yeah,
were we sharing clips?
In 2014, I think we were
timey-wimey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
but yeah. So then, he invites Natasha and Steve in to his house and brings the danger and trouble with them. And so then he is the trouble man. He is the trouble man. Yeah.
Call back.
It says, says, "What's going on?" That's his first line. He opens the door.
Do you think we only get a few seconds of Cap in his undershirt, looking swole, and Natasha
Chris Evans worked really hard to do that. So you got to have at least one of these beefcake shots, right?
He deserves everything. That he gets.
I mean, is there a person who can appreciate the human body in a way that would not be like, okay, like,
nope, no, definitely shirts off to Chris Evans, but we. But my question for you is, in this last little bit, disregarding any minutes to come,
yes,
does this exchange between the two of them, what does he say? Are you okay? Or and she says, yeah. Are they still flirting?
I don't think so. I think that I mean, this obviously is positioned in this, way of like he's coming out of the shower and he's got a tank top and she's drying her hair. And
because showers and wet hair are sexy. Sorry, controversial point. I just said it.
It's also very domestic. It's like the sharing a room kind of like that kind of thing. But I didn't get that. I mean, like I felt it in the truck. Like I felt it. But here, this seems more brotherly, like sort of like, hey, like, a lot has changed recently. And so, because she was much more glib. She was much more quippy, during even that truck ride. She's still like joking around about getting him a date and stuff too. And now it's like, oh, the organization that rescued me from the Red Room and all of the awful things and, killed all the people that I came up with and saved me, gave me a place, gave me a purpose, gave me a best friend in Clint Barton. Yeah. Now it turns out that's all been a lie and that's gone too. Like her whole world has been rocked for at least the second time, if not the third time in her life.
Yeah.
So I get much more of hey, like
I know this was hard. We're taking care of each other now.
Right.
Yeah. And we have a new recruit because Sam says yes to anything.
That's right.
That's just who he is.
Yeah. So what was 2 now are 3. We will not get up to a magnificent 7, but hey, having Sam Wilson on your side already, the deck is being stacked in their favor, and I'm all for it.
So can we do a preview recap of where Sam was in the comics at this point, just briefly? Because in this, we're about to see him acquire his wings, which were military equipment.
Yes.
How does that line up?
He was not a soldier. He was a social worker, and he was much more like a street level, kind of a Daredevil-esque sort of street level hero, sort of operating in his area. He was not really involved in stuff. And he and Cap did not really see eye to eye when they first met. They were sort of at odds. It took a while before he came around, because even his thing, like, him would say stuff like, I'm not going to be your Bucky, because at the time, this pre-Winter Soldier, it was Batman and Robin, it was Cap and Bucky. And so everybody knew Cap from then. The things were Cap and Bucky. So that was always his sidekick. So it was always his thing. He's like, I'm not going to be Bucky. And some of that shows up later on in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because they sort of moved that conversation over to the new Cap, which, spoilers for like that way in the future. But they have that with Battlestar, so they have that conversation. But some of that dynamic was there from the start. So so there was never really like this whole of military to military thing. He was just like sort of a regular guy on the street. I'm trying to remember. I say I didn't expect the questions. I can't exactly remember how he had the wings. I can't remember.
That was my next question, and I don't mean to hijack it and trick you, but I am curious the wing origin story, because they make it pretty tidy here. Yeah,
because when it shows up. So I'll have that ready for when the wings actually show up. So I have a more definitive thing, because I remember him being around, and of course, and Red Wing as well, which they do a very different version of later on. Was there from the start, him and his pet bird. So
was it a real bird?
It was a real bird. It was a real bird. Yeah. And I believe Red Wing is still around, like in the comics. They just don't really use him as much.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a trained falcon. Like that would be
my kingdom for a bird. That's fantastic. Boy,
Falcon with a falcon.
Yeah. All right.
So
that's where we are.
That's right.
We're in the quiet before the storm here, as we leave minute 70.
That's right.
Preparing for 71.
The asset has been activated. There are 2 level 6 targets. They're going to be dead within 10 hours. Will they survive? Well, you'll have to keep listening to find out. Or you could watch the movie, actually. But you could still stay subscribed to find out.
Can you imagine somebody who comes to Captain America and the Winter Soldier by way of this show before they watch the movie at all? Kyle, can you imagine that? I want to know. If you're out there and you're like, please let us know.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah, I want to hear that story.
Is there a way for them to?
Yes. Link in the show notes. You can send us your questions. We will get them and answer them in an upcoming episode.
That's right. So make sure you stay subscribed. We will continue on with our adventure and make sure that the asset does not take out our assets before that happens. And then for that, enough said.